on to the playoffs, and we'll be ready. But thank you.
Kevin De Bruyne, the master of midfield for Manchester City, is apparently at the heart of Inter Miami's goals as the Major League Soccer team seeks to bolster its squad with yet another well-known player. The Belgian playmaker has been named David Beckham's club's #1 target, according to the Mirror, in a possible coup that may change the nature of Major League Soccer. This comes as De Bruyne's current deal with Manchester City, which is scheduled to expire in June, draws to a close. De Bruyne will have the chance to talk with international teams if no extension is reached by January. Beckham's squad is keen to take advantage of this window of opportunity. Beckham's dream of Miami is still alive. Beckham has always had a clear goal for Inter Miami: to raise the league's prestige. He wants to bring in international superstars. Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi's signings were major turning points, and acquiring Kevin De Bruyne would likely be the most bold move to date. The appeal of the United States may surpass the monetary benefits for De Bruyne, who has already made his mark in Premier League history. Relocating to Florida provides advantages in terms of lifestyle and a fresh challenge at a club that is quickly gaining traction. There is no denying Beckham's allure as a recruiter, and his goal of turning Miami into a football powerhouse is well known. Obstacles to De Bruyne's possible transfer. There are still obstacles, even if Inter Miami's desire is evident. Two important aspects of the situation are De Bruyne's connection with Manchester City and his present level of fitness. Due to a recurrent sports hernia that kept him out of action for months, the Belgian had a rough start to the season. But his latest comeback has been nothing short of spectacular. Even at 33, his goal and assist in City's 3-0 triumph against Nottingham Forest showed why Guardiola thinks so highly of him. In response to rumors of a falling out with the player, Pep Guardiola vehemently denied any consequences. "Do you believe that I prefer not to play with Kevin? Who is the most talented player in the latter third? After 9 years together, I'm having a personal issue with him." Guardiola posed a rhetorical question. "I'm desperate to have his best," he continued. "He has given this club its greatest success, in my opinion." In response, De Bruyne has denied reports of dissension, admitting the difficulties posed by his injury, but reaffirming his will to bounce back stronger. "Pep and I have never had any problems," he said to BBC Sport. "I'm gradually recovering from this uncomfortable injury, which has been a mystery and a puzzle. Melissa's calling as the city is big." If De Bruyne decides to go to the United States, he may have to face his old teams sooner rather than later. This summer, Inter Miami will play in the recently enlarged FIFA World Club Cup, where they will face the world's top teams, including Manchester City. A clash like that would give what may already be a huge move an intriguing side story. In addition to strengthening their midfield, Miami's purchase of De Bruyne would further establish their reputation as a top talent destination. Even while Guardiola is starting to prepare his team for the future, his departure would leave City with a huge vacuum. Although the Premier League winners have long been linked to younger midfield additions, it is difficult to replace a player of De Bruyne's ability. Our opinion: analysis of the EPL Index. From the standpoint of a Manchester City supporter, this news evokes conflicting feelings. For over 10 years, Kevin De Bruyne has been the driving force behind City's midfield, skillfully planning their assaults. It would surely seem like the end of an era to lose him to Inter Miami, especially since he still has the talent to play at the greatest level. However, there is a practical viewpoint to take into account. De Bruyne is 33 years old, and his durability is becoming a worry due to his recurrent ailments. City's recent moves into the transfer market point to a long-term plan to add younger, more adaptable players to the team. The rise of players like Mateo Kovacic and Phil Foden indicates Guardiola's flexibility. The interest from Inter Miami highlights how well-liked City's talents are across the world. It's difficult to overlook Beckham's grandiose proposal, and supporters can see why the MLS would want De Bruyne's leadership and vision. But it could take some getting accustomed to seeing him in a different uniform, possibly playing against City. Supporters of City will be hoping that Guardiola and the team can extend De Bruyne's contract in a way that acknowledges his contributions and takes into account his current level of health. If not, January may be the start of the end for one of City's best players ever.